Alright guys, today we're here to do another Oculus Quest 2 video. Today we're talking about my top social games and apps on the Oculus Quest 2. I did this last year and I wanted to do an updated 2021 because there's a few new ones that came on this list. And just to reiterate how awesome social VR is in 2021 on the Oculus Quest, and it can only get better from here. So let's go ahead and get into the video.
Gaming tech, eating brekkie is the gaming tech. Going for a brekkie is the gaming tech. Gaming techie is the gaming tech. Gaming techie.
Alright, so the first one on this list is actually called Neverboard. Neverboard is actually an app that I've been waiting for a while. This is basically you're in like a house with three of your other friends, and you're all gathered around to play board games. Simple concept, but this is exactly what I wanted in VR for a while. Is I wanted a central app where you can actually come in with your friends and just all play a bunch of board games. And this game is free to download. It comes with Crazy Eights as the first game that you could download, and then of course they sell DLC for other games as you're in there that you can pay for. You know, they have trivia that just recently came out, Odd One Out, which is really fun. You know, a lot of different. They have like 5 or 6 different games, and they plan on continuously to add more every month or two. So I'm really excited to see where this goes. They have a good starting foundation. It's exactly what I wanted for board games in VR, a central app for all our friends to hang out, play card games, play board games and stuff, chess, checkers, all that stuff. And this is kind of it. So this is definitely a really good social application to play with your friends and family. The next one on this list is actually called Blast On. Blast On is a game that, you know, it's not really social by nature, but it ends up being with the updates that they did recently, because basically this is a one-on-one, you know, bullet hell shooter that you're grabbing weapons around you and you're trying to kill each other and be the last person standing. But over the year, they have actually added a lot of social stuff. They added social hubs where you can kind of go into a bar, hang out with people, talk to people, play arcade games in there, throw some darts around and kind of hang out with people. And then once you're ready, you can actually, with those people, go out into the actual arena. And when you're in the arena, you could have a bunch of people actually watching you and kind of rotate in. So like, it's not just you and that person, but there's actually people in the stands that you can actually cheer for and talk to and kind of while you're playing. So it's a really cool social game. I love the social hub in the game, and I love the fact that there could be an actual real audience in the game with people watching you, and while you're playing 1v1 against the other person. Plus the game is fun as all hell, always has been, and the social stuff just made it even better. The next one on this list is Top Golf with Pro Putt. This game is so good, always has been. It's my favorite golf game on the Quest, and the social aspect of this is insane. There's a giant social area you can play Top Golf with 7 of your other friends. You know, there's a bunch of mini games that you can play. There's YouTube screens all over the place so you can like chill out and watch music videos together. You know, there's full-on golf courses that you can do in the game together. You know, it feels like a golfing empire basically. They even have some sort of version of like beer pong kind of thing where you actually have to hit the ball from one side to the other and you're on teams together and you're playing against each other. The social hub in this game is just awesome. I mean, the gameplay was always fantastic. It's been one of my favorite games in the Quest, but the social hub makes it even better with 7 of your friends that you can just have a really good golf experience on the Quest 2. The next one on this list is AltSpace VR. This is one of my go-to apps for social experiences. This is basically a social metaverse, as you would call it, where, you know, there's always new events going on in here. This app has been around for a while now. You know, there's events that you can join, you know, whether it be a concert, music, you know, book stuff, you know, church, like comedy shows, literally everything you could think of, somebody's probably putting on a show for it, you know, all the time. And there's a lot of people in here. There's always people to talk to. You know, the graphics look really good on the Quest. You can actually play games together, like a version of Cards Against Humanity that is Cards Against, I forget the exact name they go by it on here. Oh, you go, Holograms Against Humanity there. You know, a version of Dungeons and Dragons that you can play. A lot of different mini games that you can play with your friends in here, on top of the fact that it's a really social app where you can go to comedy shows together and, you know, have a really fun time in playing all these games and just experiencing what this game has to offer. There's always something new. They're always still constantly updating this thing. There's always a ton of people to find. There's always, like, you know, Halloween parties, Christmas parties, all that stuff is in here. And it's just a ton of fun. One of my favorite social apps, of course, that I usually check out all the time on the Quest 2 is AltSpace VR. The next one on this list is an Oculus-made app that's been around for a while but got an update, you know, over the last year, and that's Oculus Venues. This is where you can go ahead and meet for live concerts and live shows. And this one got an update where you not just don't go in right into the show. You actually meet in a hub area. You can talk to people, kind of see all the events that are going on around you, talk to each other first and say, hey, let's go into this event together. And you can kind of follow each other and go watch that live concert, live show, or whatever it may be together. So it's really fun. And the updates made it so much better and a lot more social than it used to be able to join your friends in venues. So this one's fantastic for live events. The next application we're going to talk about here is Big Screen. Big Screen is a ton of fun if you're a movie fan. Basically, this is what you want like cinemas and movies to be like in VR. You can go into a giant cinema room. They have a bunch of different environments, but the giant cinema is awesome. You go in there with a bunch of other your friends or you know, random people online, and you're watching movies. And not only are you watching movies, but the sound is fantastic in there. The screen looks huge. Definitely an experience if you've never tried VR and seeing a giant screen that looks like you're looking at 120 inches, even though it's just a small headset. But what sets it apart too is that they actually have 3D movies, and I know some people didn't like 3D back in the day when they came into your home, but 3D makes a big deal in VR, and it's exactly how I would want 3D to be. It's so cool to watch 3D movies in VR. It adds even better effects than it would have been if you were watching on your home back in the day. Big Screen for all moviegoers and movie fans. Definitely a great social app to meet people and hang out. And the last one we got to talk about is Rec Room. Of course, Rec Room is the most popular, probably, social app ever, especially because there's a 2D app as well. So you're always find people because people can play it on their phones and their PCs and in VR as well. And this is the recently added mode that they added where you can actually race against your friends now. People are always creating new things in here. There's always something new to do, always new events to join. The creation tools are kind of insane at this point. And you know, people can make some crazy games in here. Like, the only caveat to this is there are a lot of kids on here because, again, it's on mobile and everything, so navigate that as you will. But when you can weed through that, there's so many fun games to play, so many fun creations that people have made, so many fun events to join and talk to people on if you find a good group. And it has to be the best social app. It's easily the most popular for sure. And it's a lot of fun. You'll never have an issue finding anybody, and there's always something to do in Rec Room. Alright guys, I hope you guys enjoyed that video of my top Oculus Quest 2 social games and apps for 2021. There's always new apps that I'm looking for, always new social experiences that I'm looking for, because honestly, social VR is what I love the most. I love games that have, you know, social hubs. Like, in other words, like, you get into the game, you know, a bunch of people join into one area, like Blast On that we were talking about before. You can all go into an area, kind of go in there, hang out, talk, you know, sometimes play some stupid little mini games while you're chilling there, stuff like that. And then when you're ready to do the actual meat of the game, you can go ahead and grab your friends and kind of go onto the stage and do what you want to do. I love social hubs, even in regular 2D games. I love social hubs because you can chat with other people. It's a big thing in 2D games, and I want it to be a big thing in VR as well. And some of these games and apps do that really well that we talked about here today. So hopefully we see more of that going in the future. More social hubs in VR and in games and apps and stuff like that, because social is what makes VR what it is, and I really, really love it. And hopefully you guys do too. Other than that, guys, if you guys have any questions about what you guys saw in today's video, as always, leave it down below. If not, thank you guys for watching. Until next time.